Yeah, I really, really, really need to work closer to home, but I can't wrap my brain around taking that much less per hour. Hi, I'll shut up now.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Our call to community is a responsive reading, which I believe will appear on the slides behind me. Your words hopefully will be obvious. And this is actually out of our hymnal, but we didn't pass those out because it's the only thing out of the hymnal, so just follow along. With mounds of greenery, the brightest ornaments, we bring high summer to our rooms, as if to spite the somberness of winter come. In times of want, when
life is boarding up against the next uncertain spring, we celebrate and give what we have away.
all creatures bend to rules, even the stars are constrained.
There is a blessed madness in the human need to go against the grain of cold and scarcity.
We make a holiday, the rituals varied as the hopes of humanity.
The reasons as obscure as ancient solar festivals, as clear as joy on one small face.
Prelude.
Anyone wants to do candles?
Dark of winter, soft and still, your quiet calm surrounds me. Let my thoughts go where they will, ease my mind profoundly, and then my soul will sing a song, a blessed song of love eternal. Gentle darkness, soft and still, bring your quiet to me.
Darkness, soothe my weary eyes, that I may see more clearly. When my heart with sorrow cries, comfort and caress me. And then my soul may hear a voice, a still small voice of love eternal. Darkness, when my fears arise, let your peace flow through me.
We rest now in the darkest time of the year, and yet around us light is returning. It rekindles the spirit of life in the skeletons of trees. It brings forth new shoots from the soil. It wakes us from our winter slumber and invites us to see what lies beyond. We light this chalice in the spirit of our earth's awakening and our human capacity to kindle light in the darkest night of the soul. Please join in saying our spoken affirmation. Do you stand for this? If stand in body or spirit as you like, join in the spoken affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help one another. Thank you. Please be seated. Our opening thought is from a Margaret Atwood poem, and my original source said it was called Solstice Poem, but actually she has another solstice poem, and I was able to track down the actual title. This is called Shapeshifters in Winter, and just a couple of very short sections. Through the slit of our open window, the wind comes in and flows around us, nothingness in motion, like time, the power of what is not there. The snow empties itself down, a shadow turning to indigo, obliterating everything out there. Roofs, cars, garbage cans, dead flower stalks, dog turds, it doesn't matter. You could read this as indifference on the part of the universe, or else a relentless forgiveness. All of our scratches and blots and mortal wounds and patched up jobs wiped clean in the snow's huge erasure. This is the solstice, the still point of the sun, its cusp and midnight, the year's threshold and unlocking, where the past lets go of and becomes the future, the place of caught breath, the door of a vanished house left ajar. Our next song is called Winter Solstice Song, performed by Linda Thiel.
Enter the night and you'll find the light that will carry you to your dreams. Enter the night, let your spirit take flight, the field of infinite possibility. On the longest night we search for light, and we find it deep within. Open your eyes to embrace what is wise, and see the light of your own soul shining. And enter the night, and you'll find the light that will carry you to your dreams. Enter the night, let your spirit take flight, the field of infinite possibility. Wrap up in the cloak of starry darkness, my child, and you'll find the center of all things. For from this place of the deepest dark space, life eternal does spring. So enter the night, and you'll find the light that will carry you to your dreams. Enter the night, let your spirit take flight, the field of infinite possibility. So when you find that spark, when you dream in the dark, hold it close to your heart and know all that you see is all that can be when you give birth to the dreams of your soul. So enter the night, and you'll find the light that will carry you to your dreams. Enter the night, let your spirit take flight, the field of infinite possibility. On the longest night we see the light of your own soul shining. And enter the night, and you'll find the light that will carry you to your dreams. Enter the night, let your spirit take flight, the field of infinite possibilities. Wrap up in the cloak of starry darkness, my child, and you'll find the center of all things. For from this place of the deepest dark space, life eternal does spring. And enter the night, and you'll find the light that will carry you to your dreams. Enter the night, let your spirit take flight, the field of infinite possibilities. So when you find that spark, when you dream in the dark, hold it close to your heart and know all that you see is all that can be when you give birth to the dreams of your soul. And enter the night, and you'll find the light that will carry you to your dreams. Enter the night, let your spirit take flight in the field of infinite possibilities. Enter the night, and you'll find the light. 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 Enter the night, and you'll find the light.
Our reading is from Maureen Kaloran, Come Christmas. No one is ever really ready for Christmas. If we were really all prepared, if every gift we had contemplated had been obtained, if every present was beautifully beribboned, if all the goodies our friends deserved were baked and cooled and stored just so, if each and every person we love was gathered for our celebration, if we never snapped at someone we care about, nor stopped short of being all that we could be, if our minds were 100% loving and our hearts were 100% generous, we truly would be ready. And truly, we would not need Christmas quite so much. So come Christmas, most needed of seasons. Come with the reminder that love does not depend on perfection, but on willingness to risk connection. Come into the unsteady manger of our hearts, that we may feel the warmth of new life and give flesh to the promise of hope that cries to bring healing into our world. Come Christmas, come love, come hope, be born in our unready hearts on that silent and holy night. We have another song, and it definitely speaks to that manger, that unready manger of our hearts and bringing flesh to hope. It's called Stables, and it's by Peter Mayer. And again, it's pretty easy to catch on to, and I hope you will join in and sing along if you feel so moved.
In Bethlehem a manger waits, and so do countless stables stand in hearts as harsh as desert lands, rough shelters in the wind and sand. So love will come and stay there. Love that opens fists of hate, heaps up gold on beggars' plates. Love that shows a kindly face to enemies and strangers. And the walls of stables tremble so when the winds of fear and judgment blow. For a stable hopes in love alone, and knows that love is the answer. Oh, love the prophet's only word, the only lesson left to learn, the only end of heaven's work, and the only road that goes there. Love that sees with mercy's eyes, holds its arms out open wide, threads its loom with separate lines, and weaves them all together. So may the lamps of stables glow brightly, that their light may go for miles in the darkness so. Love will find its way.
Okay, it's meditation time. So before we begin this, there is a word I need to explain. It's Taurus. It's an Irish word meaning journey or pilgrimage, and also time. It refers especially to that circling, spiraling prayer and meditation form used by the Celtic people as they walked sunwise, clockwise, around a sacred site. Making the Taurus, or circling around a sacred site, well, a sacred tree, a sacred stone, is still a living part of Celtic spirituality today. So, now that you know what that is. On the shortest day of the year, at dawn, a thin finger of light passes into the aperture of Brunaboyne, otherwise known as Newgrange in Ireland. It's a megalithic enclosure erected long before the Celtic people arrived in Ireland. Even today, people rise before dawn to trace the track of the sun's torus on the shortest day of the year. Midwinter day gives the least period of light, followed by the greatest period of darkness. For those who watched the heavens in ancient times, it must have seemed as if the sun were standing still or disappearing entirely. Nearly every culture has its own special celebrations to encourage the light on this day. And here's one that we can perform. If you wish to stand at this point, you may do that, or you can simply visualize. It's entirely up to you. But either stand or pretend you're standing, imagine yourself standing, and face the south, which I believe is this direction. Does anyone know? Yes. Okay. Okay. Southish. Southish is good enough. So face the south. Close your eyes and feel the ground underneath you, under your feet or under your backside supporting you. Imagine that it is midday and you are facing the sun low in the sky. Tune your heart to the season of winter. If a song of thanksgiving rises in you, take time to listen to it and even dance a little. We'll just pause here for a moment to imagine that low winter sun. Cool and bluer than in summer, but still warm. Now, turn to your right, turn around clockwise, and you're going to face north, so the opposite direction of where you were looking before. If the sun is on your south, when you face north, you are looking at your shadow. On the winter solstice, this shadow is the longest it can be at midday. Your shadow reaches far longer than it did at the autumnal equinox. Think about your shadow. Consider the deeds of your life, the extent to which the shadow of your own influence has fallen upon the earth. Upon whom has it fallen? How has your own Taurus affected the world in which you live? Now turn to your right, clockwise once more to face south again. Imagine the sun falling upon you and draw the sunlight deeply and thankfully into your body. Feel it permeating your being. Be aware of the partnership between yourself and the vitality of life itself. Take a moment now to be aware of the light in the darkness. Be aware of the potentialities of light that lie within. Pray to become aware of the potentialities in your own soul. What light lies undiscovered? Your potential is vaster and more mysterious than your manifest life, and it is always there. And when you are ready, you can turn back to the center and be seated. Our next reading is by a poet named Naomi Shihab Nye. Naomi lives in San Antonio, has spent most of her life in Texas, but her family is Palestinian. Her father grew up there, her grandmother is still there, and she has numerous really wonderful poems about the Palestinian experience and that part of the world. And I thought, it's a good time to hear from her and hear that voice. So this is called How Palestinians Keep Warm. Choose one word and say it over and over till it builds a fire inside your mouth. Arafara, the one who holds out. Alford, solitary one. The stars were named by people like us. Each night they line up on the long path between worlds. They nod and blink, no right or wrong in their yellow eyes. Dear little house, unfold your walls and take us in. My well went dry, my grandfather's grapes have stopped singing. I stir the coals, my babies cry. How will I teach them they belong to the stars? They build forts of white stone and say, this is mine. How will I teach them to love mizar, veil, cloak, to know that behind it an ancient man is fanning a flame? He stirs the dark wind of our breath. He says the veil will rise till they see us shining, spreading like embers on the blessed hills. Well, I made that up. I'm not so sure about Mizar, but I know we need to keep warm here on earth. And when your shawl is as thin as mine is, you tell stories. Okay, first I'm just curious. How many of you think Christmas decorations should go up as early as possible, preferably, mid-August? Anyone? The people running the stores seem to think that. My husband came back from Home Depot in October muttering about how they had Christmas decorations up already. He said there were trees blocking the aisles, there was glitter on everything. And then the Christmas music came on and I almost ran out the door. Tinsel always brings out the Grinch in him. Full disclosure, at our house, we celebrate Festivus for the rest of us. So when do you bring out the Christmas finery at your house? Or do you? I have friends who adore Christmas decorations. And I love the Santa collection over here. That's fun. They love getting to spend a weekend putting up decades worth of collected doodads, greenery, lights, and yes, tinsel. It makes them happy. And it always makes me happy to visit their houses and see everything shining in the twinkle lights, especially since I don't really do any decorating at my house anymore. But Christmas time for some of us just makes us anxious or annoyed or exhausted. We get anxious that we can't live up to our family's expectations or our own. Anxious because we're not sure which traditions we have to keep, even if we personally just hate them. Anxious because our family members are not playing the roles that we so carefully assigned to them. Anxious that our presents are all wrong, or we forgot someone, or the Christmas cookies are burned and the pralines came out grainy. I finally realized that my anxiety in December was not due to my tendency to burn the Christmas cookies. It came from the fact that I don't know how to celebrate the holiday when I don't believe the same things I used to. Yes, carols and colored lights can make me wistful, but not for Santa Claus and cookies. What I find myself missing is that sure belief that I had in childhood in the baby Jesus as the source of love, light, and peace. I remember when I was a kid lying in bed on Christmas Eve, picturing God choosing to put on a human body. There's a great line from a David Wilcox song, "If God felt a hammer in the palm of his hand." And I just love that line. If God had chosen to come to a teenaged virgin and her skeptical but steadfast fiance, if God had chosen to be born in the middle of a broad desert to a family with no wealth or power to give him advantage, an ordinary working family like ours. And I remember actually feeling a divine presence settle over me as I laid in my little twin bed. I would lie there visualizing hope and love flooding into the world through one tiny helpless infant. And then I remember picturing an adult Jesus in heaven smiling down on the earth, wrapping huge ghostly arms around the globe. And I remember that calm certainty that Jesus, through Christians like me, could truly save the world from hatred and war if we were just faithful enough. But then life happened, as it does. I watched people, most of them loudly proclaiming their Christian faith, behaving, well, like humans. That is to say, both with kindness and with startling cruelty. And I behave like that too. I might have prayed on Christmas Eve for baby Jesus to bring peace to the world, but Christmas Day was likely to find me fighting fiercely with my siblings. So I question, why do people act like that? Does prayer work? Was Jesus really God incarnate, or was he a son of God in the same way that we're all children of God? So I spent many years reading sacred texts of all kinds and researching different faiths before I came across Unitarian Universalism. Buddhism, Hinduism even, Judaism, neo-paganism. But really, through all of that seeking, what I was trying to do was find a way to reconcile an adult intellectual understanding of the sacred with that visceral feeling of the sacred that I remembered. And for me, when I was a child, that feeling was strongest on Christmas Eve. I am grateful to have found Unitarian Universalism. It's a place where I can continue to explore, and my understanding of reality can make some crazy U-turns, but I don't have to go find a new religious community. I don't have to make up labels or cram my understanding of God and Jesus and the nature of the universe into a neat little box. That part is wonderful. But what we give up when we surrender the need for that box is the comfort of having nice, neat boundaries. We give up the comfort of simple certainties, one answer and one Savior. Even if we still sing, "O come all ye faithful," our experience of it changes. So I still appreciate the meaning of Christmas, but it's a different meaning. It's more complex than God becomes baby, baby is Jesus, Jesus gets killed so humans can be forgiven for being human, and anyone who doesn't believe it is going straight to hell. So if we don't believe that, what do Unitarian Universalists as a faith, not as individuals, because goodness knows what brings us together is that we're all making our own stuff up, right? But as a faith, what do we believe about the meaning of Christmas? What do we agree on? Well, early Unitarians, at least one of whom was burned at the stake for heresy, believed in the unity of God, rejecting the Trinity. And that meant that Jesus' role was that of a prophet and a teacher, not a literal incarnation of deity. And our Universalist forebears believed in universal salvation, one that did not require accepting Jesus as the only Savior. So most Unitarian Universalists don't believe in the divinity, or at least the unique divinity, of Jesus as the one and only Christ. That doesn't mean he's not important to us. We believe he was a prophet, Buddha, Muhammad, and other great religious teachers. But UUs also believe that we have the responsibility to seek understanding and find new meaning in old traditions. And that new meaning can be just as rich and emotionally powerful as the Christmas stories we learned as children. So, for example, let's take the star, the famous star in the east that led 3 or 4, depending on your source, astrologers to journey across the desert and offer gifts to the newborn king. Was there a star literally pointing down to somebody's barn like a neon arrow in Las Vegas? Well, we're sure there's not. But a comet? A supernova? A conjunction of stars so bright that people remembered it and later connected it to that vision of the birth of their new God? Margaret Gooding wrote a poem, it's in our hymnal, called Why Not a Star?, in which she said, "They told me that when Jesus was born, a star appeared in the heavens above the place where the young child lay. When I was very young, I had no trouble believing wondrous things. I believed in the star. It was a wonderful miracle, part of a long ago story foretelling an uncommon life. They told me a supernova appeared in the heavens in its dying burst of fire. When I was older and believed in science and reason, I believed the story of the star explained. But I found that I was unwilling to give up the star, fitting symbol for the birth of one whose uncommon life has long been remembered. The star explained became the star understood, for Jesus, for Buddha, for Zarathustra. Why not a star? Some bright star shines somewhere in the heavens every time a child is born. Who knows what it may foretell? Who knows what uncommon life may yet again unfold if we but give it a chance? Some bright star shines somewhere in the heavens each time a child is born." Sophia Lyon-Fawes, a renowned UU religious educator, wrote, "For so the children come, and so they have been coming. No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses. No wise men see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet each night a child is born is a holy night. Each child bears within it the potential to change the world. Each one of us bears within still the potential to change the world. One of the changes we hope for, of course, especially this year, is for peace. All around the world, people are hoping and praying for love, peace, and goodwill to men. Those treasures shine just as brightly whether the story of Bethlehem is, for you, literal or mythical. It's why Linus quotes Luke 2 in the Charlie Brown Christmas special. You remember, it's the part where he says, "Sure, Charlie Brown, I can tell you what Christmas is all about." What do the angels proclaim when they announce the baby Christ's birth to the shepherds? They say, "On earth peace and goodwill toward men." That's the passage that Unitarian Edmund Sears was writing about when he composed the words to It Came Upon the Midnight Clear back in the 19th century. And his lyrics ring just as true to us today as they did more than 150 years ago. But with the woes of war and strife the world has suffered long. Beneath the angel strain have rolled 2,000 years of wrong, and we who fight the wars hear not the love song which they bring. Oh, hush the noise of battle strife and hear the angels sing. And then in true Christmas spirit, Sears ends on a hopeful note. Peace shall over all the earth its ancient splendors fling, and the whole world give back the song which now the angels sing. No matter how far away peace seems, no matter how much despair and hatred seem to be winning, we can always hope for the breakthrough that brings calm and love. And no matter how long and cold the night, every dark hour carries in its chill the hope of morning. That hope for a rising sun after the coldest night points us to the oldest meaning of Christmas, one that predates Christ by millennia. Psychologically and spiritually, I think this is where the real emotional power of Christmas comes from. The winter solstice, the longest night of the year. No matter how intellectually certain we are that the sun will rise, and no matter how disconnected our electric lights and central heating allow us to be from the actual cycles of the year, somewhere deep in our reptilian hindbrain is a kernel of despair at the dwindling sun. We need to be reminded, and we need to celebrate the truth that light and warmth do always return. After winter, after tragedy and despair, after grieving, morning always comes. The baby who arrives in the night, the morning sun rising low and weak in the south, both will grow to bring us warmth and joy and eventually a harvest. Candlelight services speak viscerally to our craving for the sun to return. I love to attend these services on Christmas Eve, watching the flickering light slowly grow to fill the sanctuary while we sing Silent Night. As the flames and the smiles spread across the room, as I watch mothers leaning down to kindle their children's small flames and the flickering light over faces of grandfathers and babes in arms, that's when I feel the power of Christmas all over again. Yes, as the plastic reindeer multiply on my neighbors' lawns and tacky Christmas carols blare through the grocery store, I always grow a little irritated and wistful for a simpler season. But then I remind myself of a more powerful truth. The real power of Christmas manifests when we remind each other that light and hope and love and, yes, even peace are waiting in the wings. We need Christmas, even the most secular of HUs. No, not the tinsel or the perfect tree. Not even a belief in a divine incarnation that will come and magically impose peace and love upon us. We're grown-ups now. We understand we have to do that work ourselves. But to do that work, we need hope. We need hope that morning will come, that the sun will emerge after the long darkness. Hope that people can find peace with each other. Hope symbolized by each sweet, squalling baby. That is what I wish for you. In this month, which can be difficult, may you find reminders of love. May you find hope that enables you to keep moving forward. May you find moments of peace even if they're small. In a few weeks, the light will break, weak and cold in the southeast, but it will grow. And that, Charlie Brown, is what Christmas is all about. Amen and blessed be. It is time for giving. The work of this community is made possible by your gifts, by your presence here today, your kindness to each other, your work to provide worship and other services, and by your financial gifts. While the music plays, you can take your offerings to the basket on the table. We've got another song. This one is a sing-along. If you'd like to stand up and sing along, you certainly may. Don't feel obligated. I think you'll catch on pretty quickly.
When it's late December, dark and cold,
Where is the light?
when old man you's bending low,
Where is the light?
when the sun runs off a bit too soon,
Where is the light?
and there's nothing but a skinny moon.
Where is the light?
Can you tell me where is sunlight? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. When it's dark each morning when I rise,
Where is the light?
and it's dark when my eggs are frying,
Where is the light?
and it's dark when off to work I go,
Where is the light?
and it's dark again when I get home.
Where is the light?
Can you tell me where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. It's in my skin and in my bones, in my heart and in my soul. That light of light is so bright and golden, like a summer day. When the sun goes missing in the sky, it is rising in my eyes, chasing all that winter gloom away. Bright like kerosene.
Where is the light?
I'm twinkling like a Pleiades.
Where is the light?
I'm dancing like a candle flame.
Where is the light?
And I'm flaming like a fruit flambe.
Where is the light?
Oh, can you tell me where is the light? Can you tell me where is the light? Can you tell me where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. Can you tell me where is the light?
Inside of me,
2, 3, 4.
this is light mine. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Great excuse to do that song. Really feel like we ought to do it in church at least once a year. It's a great opportunity. Our closing thought is by UU minister Mark Bellatini. Gray skies over my head, throw yourselves like quilts over my busy life and remind me to sit down and rest. Stars of winter, Orion's sash sparkling across the heavens, remind me by your distance that, compared to the infinity of the universe, every single thing I struggle with on earth is small, parochial, and hardly universal in scope. great music of the season, glowing with angel songs and filigreed with great mysteries, remind me that my own birth, like the births of all the people in this room, was no less mysterious than that ancient and celebrated birth, no less brimming with wonder. For all children that come into the world have lives as precious to them as Jesus's was to him. So now come, love greater than my longing, silence greater than the fatigue of tongues, and haul my heart away from the undue frenzy of the season and bestow it to rest, proportion, and the haunting dark beauty of winter's long nights. Please join in saying the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Amen. Shalom and blessed be.